What is up, you guys? Michael Myers here. I'm back with another video. On this video, I am going to be sharing my thoughts about the new Halloween movie. And I have a special guest in this video, a good friend of mine over YouTube, Slashermovies410.
What's going on, guys?
So yeah, you guys probably already heard about him. You know, I mentioned him in a couple of my past videos. But both of us, we're going to be talking about our thoughts and opinions about this movie. So let's just get into the point. Since I do the updates and stuff, you guys kind of already know how I feel about this movie. So we should ask Slasher Movies what he thinks about the movie first.
Yeah, sure. Just like to start off by saying I'm extremely hyped for this movie. I cannot wait for the trailer. I haven't been this excited for a trailer in a very long time. But to be quite honest, I know nothing about this movie at all. All I know is that Danny McBride and David Gordon Green are working on it, and they were most known for their work in the movie Pineapple Express, which I heard was a very funny movie, and it was really well written. And also, all I know about this movie is that, as far as the plot goes, that Michael Myers is out for revenge once again, and Laurie is going to try and stop him. And also the sequel omits to all the other movies, but the original film. But yeah, I'm just super excited for this. And supposedly it's going to have a different take than any of the other movies. So that's really interesting.
Yeah, man, I can't wait for it. You know, they're actually doing an alternative, which is, I think, is pretty nice. You know, I think all Halloween fans, all horror fans should give this film a try. I know we got haters and people who like, the whole way they're going with it, but honestly, we should just give it a try, a chance, give it a watch.
Yeah.
And
personally, I'm looking forward to a more creepy stalking, and I'm really sick of the supernatural, killer shenanigans, in Halloween 6 with the whole concept of Thorn. Wasn't a huge fan of that at all. I'm just glad that Michael is back to being the psychotic, bastard that he was from the 70s.
Yeah, I agree with you, bro, because later on in the sequels, they did kind of change up his character, and with this new movie, I think they should really bring us, feels and vibes to the original, and that's something I'm really looking forward to,
Yeah, man, and also, since, Michael's gonna have the same sort of persona that he did in the original movie, and he's more mysterious, you'll feel more invested in his character.
Yeah, definitely, bro.
Because that's when the Rob Zombie movies kind of failed. They kind of gave the whole backstory of Michael. It was just too much, and that was for half the movie too, if I remember correctly. It was very excessive, and it just didn't feel right, especially when it came to the main act. So I'm just glad we're getting an original take, but also a new kind of idea to go along with it.
Yeah, me too, man. That's one of the main reasons why I didn't like the Rob Zombie remake, but honestly, I don't think we're gonna have that here. I think it's just gonna be straight to the point like the original. And yeah, man, I'm excited for it. And if you guys still don't know yet, the trailer is actually gonna drop this Friday, so I'm really excited for that. I am gonna be doing a trailer reaction, so stay tuned for it. And I got some questions for you, Slasher Movies. I just wanted to know a little bit more about your opinions and thoughts. What do you think about, do you think this film, when it comes out, you think it's gonna have a big impact like the It movie did last year?
Oh, definitely, for sure. I remember when the It movie first came out, I had a whole bunch of friends that were not even huge fans of horror, but they really wanted to see this movie because from what they've seen in the trailers, it looked very intriguing. So I remember a ton of them going to see It, and a lot of them, after that movie was done, I told them about the original movie, and they wanted to go back and watch the original film. So I think this is going to have the same sort of gist, once they see this movie and how great it is, they're going to want to go back and watch the original right away.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. And this film could actually bring us, new Halloween fans, introduce, new fans to the franchise. And, yeah, actually, this movie, I think, honestly, in my opinion, is going to do numbers, definitely, at the box office. So, because, we haven't had a Halloween movie almost 10 years. You know, back in 2009, that's almost 10 years right there.
Yep.
Yeah, and you know the last Halloween movies, they weren't as good. You take a look at the Rob Zombie remakes; those were pretty bad. If you take a look, you know, at the last films from the original, those like Resurrection, those were kind of bad. So I'm glad they're not continuing from, you know, Rob Zombie series or the original. I would like to see a Halloween 9 actually continue after Resurrection, but honestly, you know, in my opinion, they kind of ruined the franchise at that point. So I think it's great we're having this brand new concept of Halloween, you know, and I'm really curious, you know, to see how it plays out.
Yeah, and also the thing I'm most curious about is how Laurie Strode and Michael Myers will be connected, since supposedly they're not going to be brother and sister anymore.
Yeah,
so I think that's quite interesting. We're going to get a whole different story, an alternative story, which is really interesting.
Yeah. How do you feel this movie's gonna play out? How do you feel? Who do you think Michael's gonna be after in this movie?
I think Michael's definitely going to be after Laurie's daughter and the granddaughter as well.
Yeah.
I think they're going to follow. They're going to take some ideas from the original movies, but you know they're going to change it up a little bit. You know.
Yeah, and that's something I'm really also looking forward to. You know, they might throw something in there. You know, some reference to the original, and that's pretty nice. You know, that's something I'm also looking forward to. Little tribute or whatever.
Yeah, I'm also looking forward to the new cast. I haven't seen any of them, I don't believe, in any movies, so I'm excited to see their portrayal.
Yeah, same here. I haven't heard of, you know, the new ones that are popping up in this movie, but I am curious, you know, to see how they play their characters, and you know how the story goes along as well. So yeah. Let's talk about Michael. What do you think about Nick Castle's return as Michael Myers and the whole thing they're doing with the other actor? You know, because from what I heard, Nick Castle is gonna like just take a couple of shots, like not play Michael throughout the whole movie. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea actually, because Nick Castle has this sort of walk to him and this sort of presence that, you know, no one else can really replicate all that well. Even Dick Warlock, as great as he did in Halloween 2, he didn't have the same sort of vibe that Nick Castle had in the original movie. So I think it's great that they're bringing him back for additional shots. I really do, because the poor man's like, what, 70-something years old, so he can't be doing all this stunt work, so he definitely needs someone to, you know, help him out with that.
Yeah, and I definitely do agree. You know, they should get Nick Castle to do, you know, especially the walking scenes, you know, because it's so iconic, you know, and I don't think no one could actually do that just like he did, you know.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah, and what are your thoughts on the mask? I know we just had, you know, a teaser poster. You can't really tell much about the mask, just like a side shot or whatever, but what are your thoughts so far at this point?
From the looks of it, I think it looks really cool. It has this, it looks very similar to the Rob Zombie mask, in my opinion.
Agree.
Like, you know, the scarring and all that.
Yeah.
From the looks of the poster, I'm really impressed. But I can't wait to see the actual product. And I'm also excited for the mask that Trick or Treat Studios is coming out with.
Yeah, man, definitely. Me too. I'm actually gonna be pre-ordering it real soon.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, and I do agree with you, bro. You know, when I first saw the teaser poster, it really got me hyped up. You know, it did kind of give me some Rob Zombie, you know, feels to it, because honestly, it does kind of look like it. But there is a couple of differences. Like, for example, the Rob Zombie mask, it was more of like an old mask, more of a, you know, torn up, beat up Myers mask that was found years later. This mask actually looks like, you know, an actual face, you know, 40 years later.
Yeah, it just looks very aged.
Yeah, and you know, Michael Myers is like, what, 70 years old in this movie?
I think it's late 60s, I believe.
Yeah, around there, yeah. So that's something, a good feature I like, you know, they actually made it like real, you know, like if Michael's face actually wrinkled up, you know, from, he's aged, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I think that's a very, I think it's it's very interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good
very
good touch right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, another great touch as well. You know, if you notice some of the pictures of the teaser poster, if you brighten it up, you can see like Michael's what was it? His left eye that was
Yeah.
battle damage from the first one when Laurie stabbed him in the eye with the coat hanger. I think that's also another awesome feature that they threw in there.
Yeah, and that's going to be one of the few Easter eggs in this movie because I remember reading an article and it stated that Danny McBride, he's gonna, even though he's ignoring all the other sequels, he's still gonna make references to the other sequels. He's sort of gonna acknowledge them, but not really. You know, he's just gonna hint at them, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, me too, man. I can't wait to see, you know, those Easter eggs around there, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and you know what? I also wanted to ask you, bro, my opinion, honestly, how they should have made this movie. Like, I have no idea how this movie's gonna play out, so I can't really say if I like it or not, but honestly, I think this movie should have been more special, more of a reunite thing. You know, we got John Carpenter, Nick Castle, Jamie Lee Curtis back in this movie, but honestly, this movie should have had like a reunion sort of thing, you know, with not just, you know, the main ones, but like some actors and actresses from like the sequels or something, like Danielle Harris. I would love to see her in this movie, honestly.
Yeah, and she put a lot of hard work into her character in Halloween 4 and 5. It's just unfortunate that they didn't bring her back because they really could have if they wanted to. Maybe she might make a cameo of some sort. I'm not sure if they will. That's always possible, but as of right now, it's not looking good. Like, I really wanted her to be back. I think that was a missed opportunity on their part.
Yeah, man, you know, she's one of my favorite actresses from the whole Halloween franchise, and she was in the original and the remake, so they should have done something and hope they have like a little cameo of her in there or something. But yeah, man.
They could have also brought Laurie's son from H2O. Interesting to see too.
Exactly, yeah. I agree, man.
Yeah, but I guess they just didn't want to confuse the audience since they're telling a whole new story. They didn't want to bring back characters from older films, which I do get, but at the same time, you have to respect the other movies, you know?
Yeah, I feel you. Also, another thing that you mentioned that about, you know, Laurie's son in the in H2O. What do you think about the whole transition? I know this movie is like a whole alternative, you know, but you know, I would say for years it probably had, you know, Halloween fans confused, you know, like in the original Laurie had a daughter which was Jamie, and then they came out with H2O and you know none of that existed. And then she has a son, and then later on 2018 we're getting this new movie and they're ignoring all of that. What do you think about like fan wise, you know, like
I think that some people will accept the fact that we're getting new characters and that Laurie's gonna have a new daughter.
yeah.
But I just wish they could have brought back Danielle Harris, you know? I think that was a missed opportunity, but some fans will be upset about it, and I think some fans will get over it very quickly, especially if these new characters are very interesting and, you know.
Yeah, like honestly, I don't have a problem with them bringing new characters. Like, you know, we got Laurie with a daughter and a granddaughter. I don't mind that. You know, I'm actually really excited, especially for what's her name, Andy Matichak, who's playing the granddaughter.
Yeah, her name's Allison, I believe.
Yeah. I'm really excited to see her because, you know, she's beautiful and like as I said, I never seen her before anywhere, so I'm curious, you know.
Yeah, same here, man.
All of them actually, you know, James Jude Courtney, who was the other one? Judy Greer, and all of them, you know. Will Pat is in this movie, I believe so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
his name sounds familiar.
Yeah, like I heard his name before, so yeah.
Yeah, overall, I'm just very, very excited for this movie. Even though I just can't wait for the trailer. You know, as soon as I see the trailer, I'll get a little taste of what we're gonna see on screen. Well, everyone's gonna get a taste of what we're gonna see on screen.
Yeah, man, I'm so excited, man. And another thing I'm really hoping for this movie, I really want this movie to have some sort of a dark feel, you know, like a horror feel. Because you know how most horror movies nowadays. They have comedy in there. I don't really want to see that with this movie. I actually want them to take serious this movie, just like they said they were, you know. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
something
exactly.
I'm really looking forward to. You know, they should definitely take this movie real serious because it's special. You know, to the Halloween fans and everyone.
And it's a nice fresh start and a new concept, which is key. And also, the only little gripe about that I have about this movie is the title itself, Halloween, because since it's going to be a direct sequel to the original movie, I just wish they had a subtitle in there of some sort. But I understand why they don't, in a way, because there's been so many Halloween movies with subtitles. You know, you got The Curse of Michael Myers, you got Halloween H2O. I guess they just wanted to keep it simple, just to avoid less confusion. But at the same time, I really do think they should have had a subtitle. Maybe call it like Halloween: The Night He Came Home, or something along those lines. You know?
Yeah, man. You know, definitely they should actually throw something in there. You know, under the title. That would be pretty nice, actually.
Yeah. Plus, you never know; they might actually reveal the subtitle in the trailer itself. We're just gonna have to wait and see.
Yeah, yeah. Do you think this film will be called Halloween Returns?
I don't know. It sounds pretty basic to me, but you never know.
I agree, man. Yeah. Also, I wanted to ask you, what do you think about the whole direct sequel thing? I know a lot of fans want this film to continue after the second one, and I'm one of those fans actually. But it's actually continuing direct sequel after the first one. So what do you think what do you think about all that? You know, and they're ignoring the franchise.
I mean, personally, I don't mind it because I wasn't too fond of the ending of Halloween Resurrection, anyways. And continued the story after Halloween 2, not Halloween 1.
Yeah, me too, man. I don't have a problem with them ignoring the sequels, but they should have at least continued after the second one, since the second one actually took place like the same night as the first one did.
Yes, in a way, it's disrespectful to the director because he worked so hard on that movie and loved by so many fans. Like, I know a lot of people that actually love the sequel more than the original film.
Yeah, man. Like sometimes I feel like that too, bro. Like that's a true horror movie sequel right there, man. That's like a horror movie, a classic sequel, if you ask me. You know, that's another one I'll never get bored of.
Exactly, man. I think that I really should. I just don't think it's right, but we're just gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah, it is what it is. Fresh new concept. Just have to give it a chance and watch.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, definitely. Do you think Loomis, Dr. Loomis, would have a cameo in this? I think so. If you ask me, I think he
Oh,
will.
yeah. I mean, I never thought in a million years that. I'm just gonna kind of change the subject a little bit. I'm actually a huge Star Wars fan,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
and there's a guy named Grand Moff Tarkin who's like an Imperial leader. Totally recreated him. It looked so much like him. It was crazy. But the thing is that I'm not sure, but I know that Disney has a crap ton of money, so they were able to CGI him. But a CGI Loomis, I mean, I think it can work. They just need to get some old voice recordings of him from the original films. Halloween 6, because I believe there was some one, and also Halloween 6 that they could incorporate some of that dialogue into the final version of this movie, which I think would be so cool because we never actually heard these recordings before. We've only seen them in the deleted scenes, so it's not like it would matter anyways because those movies aren't canon anymore. So, yeah, that's what I have to say about that.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. They should definitely do that. Throw in some, classic lines. Because Loomis had a lot of classic lines in the Halloween franchise.
Yeah, definitely, man.
So yeah, they should do something like that. I also had another question, but damn, I actually forgot it. But anyways, yeah, I guess that's about it. My thoughts. Oh, I got my question back.
Okay.
What do you think about the whole Do you think they're actually gonna like how do you say it? Hold on, give me a second. Do you think it's gonna have like um an original vibe, like, or do you think it's gonna have more of like a modern horror feel to it? Like
I think
the
it's gonna
horror
have.
movies, like how the horror movie nowadays, you know, they can be different
Mhm.
than the ones that we had before. What do you think about that?
Definitely, man. I think it's gonna have an original vibe to it in certain scenes, but I think with the action sequences, it's gonna have more of a modern feel to it because from what Jamie Lee Curtis described in her little trailer reaction thing, she said that this movie's gonna be very gory and it's gonna be very, very, very scary. So I definitely think it's gonna have a modern feel to it during the action sequences and dialogue and all that when the characters are interacting with each other. I think it's gonna have an original sort of vibe to it, and I think that's definitely going to help with John Carpenter composing the soundtrack.
Yeah, that's another thing I'm looking forward to, man. That soundtrack. I'm glad John Carpenter is back composing that because, man, them themes in back in the day they were classic.
Yeah, definitely, man. I'm super stoked about that.
Yeah, yeah, and they might even make a new Lori theme song and all that. Maybe remake some of the classic classic theme songs or whatever. Maybe remake them or something.
Hmm.
But yeah, I guess that's about it. You got anything else you wanna say out there about this film?
No, man, I'm just super stoked about this movie. Been anticipating it for a very, very long time now, and it's finally arrived, and we're finally getting the trailer Friday. So yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, man, no problem. We're probably definitely gonna do more of these kind of podcasts. Maybe with other YouTubers and with slasher movies. We should talk about other different kinds of stuff or horror stuff. And other stuff
Yeah,
other than Halloween.
yeah, man, definitely.
All right, guys. So thank you guys for watching. Tell us what you guys think about the new Halloween movie, and go subscribe to Slashermovies410. The link of his channel is going to be in the description. That's about it, and we're out of here.